Had a really fun time this weekend with my band, Some People. Got to play a gig at a new venue for us. It was really fun. Had a great time with the guys, and working hard like that does definitely pay off. If you act professionally and play professionally and have professional gear, you're probably going to get some more work, which is exactly what happened for us. We're really thankful to the Desert Wind Winery in Prosser, Washington. If you're ever in that area and you enjoy fine wine, be sure to stop in there. Their staff was amazing. The venue was just absolutely beautiful. And we went in there and played our good old-fashioned rock and roll, reggae, pop music, and everybody there just sang along and just simply had a blast with us. And it was really, really a fun experience. And again, it led to more work. I used my Boss IR-2 for the first time. And just kind of a report. Gotta do that out there. Guys, small penises do that stuff. The IR-2 worked really, really well, flawlessly. In fact, I had no technical issues with it whatsoever. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. I had a really beautiful stereo field, which I have right now. I've just got a little touch of reverb on my guitar, and I'm drop detuned, which we don't do a whole lot of that, but we can get some panning going on with the delays. So it really sounded fantastic. The clean tones, I was really happy with those, and even with a little bit of tube screamer on it, it was great. I'm not playing with the band right now, and I know that oftentimes we'll beef up our tone at home because we want all the low end and all the treble and all that stuff, because we're not typically at home playing with a bass player, just playing with yourself. So this may sound a little bit thin. And that's fine, because with the band, I had to take some insulin. This will only happen. That'll only happen when I'm doing something important, of course. So forgive me. I've got to take a little insulin. Let me take care of this real quick. I'm a type 1 diabetic, if you don't know, and I have to manage my disease very carefully. So we're going to take care of this. And I appreciate everybody showing up tonight and being with me here. Let's see, I'm going to do 3-4 units. Let's see, where was I? Oh, yeah. So the IR-2 did everything it was supposed to do. It sounded great right until I used the overdrive tones on it. When I used a higher gain amp, my guitar in the mix just literally vanished. It's kind of like your typical use of a fuzz pedal. When you step on a fuzz pedal, your guitar vanishes, especially if you're playing into a dirty amp. So after the gig, I had yesterday and today to mess with it a little bit, and I did alter some of the settings. So I've got a little So I gave the overdrive amp a little more gain and a little more level after the show. I talked with a couple of people that were there in attendance that play in bands, and their response was really great. You guys sounded great. You look great. You put on a great show. But the one lady that was there, that she's a lead vocalist in a band, said, "Boy, when you went into a guitar solo, she said I could barely hear you." And I have to say, I felt the same way. My notes sounded just thin, and if you play, when I was playing it during sound check, it sounded great. But once the whole band got going, the single note stuff just literally, I couldn't hear it. So I had this great, big, let's see, let's. Those notes just seemed to kind of vanish, and it was really not a very friendly, oh, how can I say this? I was kind of playing blind. So what I've done is I've added some low end to the tone. It seemed like when I was playing upper register notes, they were just really thin. It did not sound anything like it did at home. Of course, I'm playing through our PA system. So, the overall grade on this, I'm going to kind of I think I'll give it a C for the first gig. When I was working like that, I was really hoping, but I have to accept some of the responsibility for that kind of a low grade, average grade, because number one, I had it for 2 days before the gig. I had never used it in the band environment before with my band playing. And so I really didn't have a good opportunity to run it through its paces. And even still, I've got, I need to do some more fooling around with it, turning knobs and seeing how I can make it sound. Another small critique of it is that the knobs on it are very, very easy to hit with your foot when you're turning the pedal on and off, switching channels ultimately from, my clean channel to a dirty channel. So, I know that part of the night, I definitely hit that pedal hit the knobs with my foot, and it turned the volume down. And so, which, having had it for a few days before the show, I knew that was a distinct possibility. Just fair warning, if you do buy one of these, or if you're waiting for one right now, which you probably are if you bought one in the last 3 months, you're probably going to be waiting for it until September, unfortunately. But that's the word that I've gotten from my rep. Be careful of those knobs. I am going to come up with some type of device that I can install on that to keep my foot from being able to hit those buttons. So that's one definite thing that I'm gonna have to come up improvise with something for that. And I'll remove myself so you can take a look at the pedal. This is what it looks like, and the knobs right there, that's where my settings were at. Basically, that's where they're at right now, and it was just too easy when I stepped on this to hit that volume. The center top control on that center is the level of the patch, and I'm almost certain that at some point during the night I hit that when I was switching from dirty to clean, and then when I went back to dirty, my level was too quiet. And that's a good point, Preston, but putting gaff tape on it will move the knobs. So what I'm going to do is put a bar in front of them, and I'm going to attempt to mount them on the jacks that go in on the very top jacks in this. There's actually 3 on the left side of the box, and then there's 2 on the right side. I'm going to make something that will mount to those nuts on the outside of the device and have a bar that goes across the top of the knobs to stop my foot from ever hitting them. But yeah, I don't want to use gaff tape because it'll move the knobs the moment you put gaff tape on there. I don't want to be, and it's not a permanent fix. You know, this way, if I do something like this, I'll be able to adjust the knobs if I need to at a show. You know, it's basically an amplifier, this pedal, and I mean it is very yep, that's exactly what my plan is, Justin, and so that's my plan of attack, is to they're lined up perfectly, so I can make something that will actually fold up and over the top of them so that I won't touch them. It doesn't have to be real bulky or anything like that, just enough that it goes over the top of them, so when I step on the pedal, I don't touch those knobs. And that is kind of a minimal critique. I could be more careful, but I don't want to have to be that careful with when I'm playing. So yeah. So that's the plan on that. I'll build something for that. I'll probably use some maybe some 16th inch steel that's about a 1/2 inch wide. Drill a hole in either end of it and run the nuts back on top of that to hold it in place, and just bend it so that it fits properly. Seems like a really affordable and effective way to solve that problem. Let's see. Oh yeah, and yeah, and again, I just want to reiterate that I really loved the clean tone that I was getting, man. It was really nice when we were playing, you know, songs like, I don't know, I Shot the Sheriff, some of the reggae stuff that we were doing, Just One More. Let's see. I got to think of some of the songs that we play. We played Careless Whisper. Have some clean guitar parts in that, and it was just really beautiful. And I honestly believe that the lack of being able to hear myself with the distorted tones was only because I believe that my foot hit that volume knob again. So I definitely have to do something quickly about that before I have another gig. We are booked there one more time this summer, but July or August and September, they are going to put us in there at least 2 more times. And we also managed to establish a show at the Prosser Eagles and a couple of private parties that we were invited to play at, which haven't necessarily been confirmed yet, but you know, it's the boys in the band acted professionally, played professionally. We sounded professional, and people there loved us. It was so fun to see everybody singing along with all of the songs that we do. So we had a really great audience. And this is a winery. It's not a bar. You know, people aren't sitting around drinking their Budweiser, getting wasted with their, you know, this was people sitting there drinking $50 glasses of wine. So it's a very affluent audience, and it was really fun and I went out in between sets. We took one break so Scott could catch his breath and drink a little water. And I went out and introduced myself to people in the audience and just met some really cool people. Got some great feedback. So the band just did a fabulous job. Y'all, if you're playing a band, you'd have been proud of us. And I think anybody that was there, or if you had been there, you would have enjoyed your time spent with us. We really did a great job. if I do say so myself. I mean, everybody in the band had a really great time. Okay, I am going to let's see, let's mute this. I'm going to play along with the backing track, and then I'll probably hang up for the night. Um, yeah, yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right. So it seems to hang in there a little bit. On the it's still just making tweaks. It sounds pretty good all by itself. Thank you, Charlie. Good to see you, man. Hope you had a good Sunday jam stream today. Let's see. Man, foam covers, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, good. Preston, that point, definitely. Kinger, hello, man. Hope you're doing well. Haven't seen you for a while. Hope everything's going good for you. That movement, the pedal movement, then turning the knobs, boy, that's a pain in the neck when that happens. Another thing that I'm probably going to do, I don't have my camera set up on my pedal board right now, but I'm probably going to remove my compressor and put a different pedal on there. I'm not using it enough to really make it uh, worthwhile having it on my board. It's taking up space. And we're talking about adding Amber, the song Amber, to our set list, which if you've played that song before, you know what a handful that one is, with chords and all that stuff. It's a wonderful song, but it's difficult to learn. And I'll have to relearn it. But that one has the auto wah in it, or the auto kind of envelope filter, or whatever you want to call it. And so I may re-add that. And those are really fun just to throw on in guitar solos, to kind of just have fun with it, throw an effect on a solo that you've played 1,000 times. Yeah, it's a cool song. We have covered that song in the past, and just kind of a little update on the band. We have a new bassist, Daniel, and he just did an outstanding job last night. He's just such a cool dude. And he just really fit in so well. He knows the material. He showed up prepared, and he looked great. He wears nice clothes. He doesn't show up in a t-shirt and a baseball hat or anything like that. He really looked great. Got a beautiful beard, and I want to wish him safe travels, Mr. Daniel. He is currently, and he may be there already. I'm not sure. It may be tomorrow that he arrives, but he is taking a trip to Japan. And he may already be there right now. So everybody wish Daniel a safe travels. And we'll wish him the best. He's just going over there to check it out. He's never been there before, so that was really cool. He definitely likes to live. So, Kira, I'm glad to hear it. All good. Life's been busy. Yeah, me too, man. So the bass position is definitely filled at this point. However, we have a couple of gigs coming up in June, in which he's gonna be Daniel will be again traveling during that time. So our good old bass player, and when I say old bass player, we consider him still a part of the band. He recently moved to Los Angeles, and he's working for a big gaming company, is what I understand. And he is going to make a special trip back to our neck of the woods to play a couple of shows with us on the 21st and 23rd of June. So that will be really super fun to have him get to play another show with Jacob. We're all looking really forward to it. He's pretty, he's like 95% certain that he's going to make it. So we're not going to have to dig or, go to I have to play bass for those 2 gigs. We aren't going to turn them down. Say that again. Dollar store sells wood panels. For small box. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess I get that. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I'm just going to alter this one with a little piece of metal bent over it with some holes drilled in it. That just seems like the best thing to do. Yeah. Lowering the treble on that. Yeah, there we go. And again, I'm playing by myself, so I have no idea what this is going to sound like in the band situation. And also, one thing that keep in mind, if you get one of these, the knobs are really small. It's not like working with your good old tube amp that we all love. You got big knobs and you can get at everything and you know where everything's at. These are really small knobs. So one thing about playing like that is that we're being paid to play. We're not being paid to fuck with our equipment while we're up there performing. So I did make a couple of small adjustments, but I didn't dig in real deep while we were playing, just to keep the appearance and the show flowing and not looking like I'm being distracted. And I probably could have sat there and turned knobs all night and maybe never have been happy, but I'll find that sweet spot. And when I do, I will take photographs of it. It's amazing how these pedals work. There's not really a good way to know exactly where the knobs are on each channel. That part of it's kind of you got to be careful. So it's almost best, like I do with my DAW, to try and find a setting where everything is at 12 o'clock. Yeah, that's the thing, Karen. That's exactly right. Yeah, so that, definitely, I hadn't used the pedal enough to really know exactly how the knobs are really going to affect my my tone. They are pretty responsive. You move them a very small amount, and they definitely change. The EQ especially changes the tone pretty dramatically. And it seems that all of the patches are somewhat mid-frequency scooped, more like a Fender amp. So I've found that on both of my overdrive and my clean channels, I have the mids kind of bumped a little bit past 12 o'clock, which is pretty normal. And I just have a little touch of reverb on this, which is kind of, the reverb is kind of my always on pedal. It's just, and it also, because the stereo field is achieved through the effects loop, my reverb pedal is a stereo pedal. It's being fed by a stereo delay pedal. So the signal going into it is stereo and the signal coming out of it is stereo. So it definitely enhances the stereo field of the guitar, definitely. That's with the reverb on. If I shut it off, it becomes a little more mono. Off. And when I'm wearing headphones, I can definitely hear the separation of that stereo field, which is really nice. Yep. Yeah, Kinger, that's definitely, you've got to sit in the mix properly with everybody. And that's another interesting thing is that with our new bass player, he's got such great equipment. It's really nice to play with other people who own really nice stuff. And our lead vocalist plays through a Marshall 20-watt Marshall amp. Our drummer, I believe, boy, I wish I could take it. I need to take a photograph of his kit. It's a very, very expensive drum kit, and our bass player has this really super killer bass cab and amp. So, I've kind of gone backwards. With respect to the amount that I've spent on my gear, but what I'm able to get away with in doing that is pretty spectacular. Just really fun to play. I'm going to give it one more shot here with the backing track. We'll see what this one sounds like. I don't remember what this one is, but I like to do that. I don't know what this back. Seems to be fitting in the mix pretty good. Not bad. It really. I'm able to hear myself pretty clearly when I'm playing. It's very forward in the mix. Yeah, I figured so much. Yeah, because I've got this stuff set up, and if I don't have feedback like that, I don't know what I sound like out in music world or YouTube world. So I appreciate you saying something. I can imagine, yeah. That's probably really loud. And, you know, again, I got to balance this stuff here. I'm gonna, yeah, I've got a different headphone. One thing I definitely need to do is get an isolation extender. I've got more pedals than I have isolated power supplies. So the noise that's generated by electricity. I don't have clean power to my amplifier, so unfortunately. I don't know, hopefully this mix is a little bit better. I don't know what. Well, so there's the update on the Boss IR-2 with respect to my band. If you got here late, go ahead and go back to the very beginning. And yeah, you're right. Go back to the beginning and you'd hear a little bit of the report of my experience at the gig. I think that I've made a good choice in in buying the amp, and I'm calling it an amp because it's an amp in a box that's the size of a Boss foot pedal. I hope you all have a really wonderful end of your week on Sunday. Have a really great time tonight. Um, keep playing, keep mixing, keep writing. I always look forward to hearing everybody's music as much as possible. So there's a report on the IR-2. Have a really great evening and a great week if you're headed off to work. I don't go to work. I go to vacation. So it's kind of enjoyable. Have a great night. Thank you.